Hello, welcome to Debates on Zamari TV. Here we discuss socio-political issues that affect Africans, and I have with me on set to discuss this.
Emeka Wankwo.
Emeka, what do you do?
I'm a communications manager.
And
Chuka KK.
what do you do?
I'm a product manager for a tech firm.
You're welcome.
I mean, to be fair, when I had it, I was really happy because it means I'm not public holiday. But aside from that, it looks like another effort to kind of like pander to voters in the southwest. You know, although what they're doing is right. I mean, the intention, but why they're doing it doesn't really make sense. You know, because they're only doing it as a way to get people to look at them a certain way, as a way to garner votes ahead of the election. And it probably brings back to mind what Jonathan did the time he named Unilag after MKO. And so while we should all say Buhari has tried, we should ask ourselves why is he even doing it? Is he doing it with the right intentions? What he's doing, does it even make any sense? Or is he just doing it because he wants people in the southwest to vote for him?
Gideon, how did you learn about it?
Online, and I felt really disgusted.
That was your reaction. Why would you be disgusted?
I felt disgusted because same old story. So we are back to this point again where these guys on top feel they can just create something that would trigger our emotions and make us become stupid again. So it's a year to the election. It's a year to the election with a government who...
Actually, less than a year.
Less than a year to the election with a government who, for the past 3 years, has not shown any form of intention towards history, has not shown any form of intention towards mending broken fences from our past. Then suddenly, you do this. From a southwest standpoint, the average Yoruba man will be happy because, okay, yes, this is something that was meant to have been rectified a long time ago. Finally, it's now being rectified. The man in the southeast won't be happy. The man in the south-south won't be happy. So I'm thinking, if I'm a man from the south-south, how about Ken Saro-Wiwa? Yeah. If I'm the man from the southeast, I'm like, we've been crying for years, yeah? The reason why this country is like this is because we've not reconciled.
I'll give you access in the past.
Civil war.
I mean, if you put it that way, it's a little bit problematic if you look at it from this perspective that MKO Abiola did not win this election just in the southwest. He won everywhere.
Yeah, he was the first president to actually win around the country.
Exactly. So if you're going to say that declaring him a GCFR or the honor they bestowed on him or making it June 12th a holiday is all about the southwest, it becomes problematic in the sense that you're taking into cognizance, you're thinking that he's only a hero for the Yoruba people. You're thinking him of.
Well, I'm trying to think like the average Nigerian. I think MKO Abiola signifies democracy, that democracy can work in Nigeria. So it's just not about region. So it's about a system. It goes. I can't say he's a hero because I can't say as a president he did XYZ. He never ruled. I'm not saying he's a villain too, but MKO as a person, if you remember him, you think of democracy. If we're going to give credit to anybody, in my opinion, we should give credit to Humphrey Nwosu, the INEC chairman then, that against all odds conducted the one and only free and fair election.
I agree with you, but
that is what, because we are celebrating the election.
Not the person.
Not the person. He never ruled. We don't know what he could do, but June 12th, the election was free and fair. The only time that's been free and fair in this country. And despite everything the military did, he stood his ground.
Yeah.
So I think he's the main hero.
I mean, if we are talking about remembering democracy, we should look at the fact that means it brings more relevance to May. I mean, May 29th has a lot more significance. If you're looking at this from a social perspective, it has more significance because it's just the day. Here's the reason why I think it has more significance. It's because it's the day that this long-running democracy that we've had since 1999 was actually institutionalized. It was the day
there were other days. So, Obasanjo handed over to Shagari in the 70s.
Yes.
That's another day that the military actually handed over to civilian government. So we have a lot of that.
Well, I would have to kind of agree. I mean, people keep pointing out to the fact that even his his deputy, his vice, Kingi Bey, were also honored, even though he kind of dumped Abiola. He sold out. Sold out. Exactly. Allegedly sold out. Exactly. And so if you also look at it also from this perspective, Buhari has never shown any respect for history, as you pointed out. Buhari has never shown any and even at the worst part.
But this is respect for history.
But the worst part is, here's the worst part. Worst part is that Buhari has always been pro-Abacha. I mean, he's literally the only person in Nigeria that likes Abacha, apart from Abacha's family. So, and for him to kind of like come and say this, I'm honoring MKO Abiola. Remember that MKO Abiola suffered really under Abacha. So if he's doing this, is he doing it because he cares about Abacha, or is he low-key trying to say, I mean...
What if he's trying to right the wrongs of the
I
past?
think he's trying to distract
it's
us.
just a political...
I think he's trying to distract us.
He's not trying to wrong-
I think he's trying to distract us. Distract us in the sense that less than a year to the election, the mindset of the people is you've not done anything. I mean, I can remember some months back there was a poll online where people promised to give out money if anybody can mention one project that Buhari's government began and completed, and nobody.
I mean, was it increased to...
Yeah, millions. If you can name a project that this government has started and finished.
In their defense, they said they are here to finish the project that the past administration has started.
But we are tired. We are tired.
You're tired of what?
We are tired of excuses. We are tired of. We didn't vote you in. I didn't vote them in, by the way. But the people that voted in, that put them in, didn't put them in because they wanted to hear excuses. They put them in based on what they promised. And of all those promises, not even one has been fulfilled. Let me not mention Fulani, which I just did. The headsman issue. The headsman issue. I mean, there's no day, there's no week you don't hear 5 were killed, 10 were killed in Bauchi, in Benue, in Zamfara, and somehow, it happens so often. It's a norm.
I know the most disgusting thing about this, or it's so common that nobody is reporting it anymore.
Yeah, it's so common.
And it means that in this country, we don't even have respect for human life.
And the worst thing is, these people are not even hiding anymore. So imagine a child who is constantly being abused by the stepmother. So the stepmother rarely gives you food, doesn't give you clothes to wear. You're always
That's a bad
working.
imagination.
No, I'm trying to paint a picture, yeah? Then, a week before your dad comes back, she gives you food and buys you clothes. Should you be happy?
What if they are changing? I ask again.
No, it just doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't happen. The thing is, as Nigerians, I think we should be tired of this process. You know, these guys come and mutilate us, then towards the election, we become of value to them and they give us something that just distracts us.
Do you think from this move, Buhari has actually bettered his chance of winning the 2019 elections?
I mean, if you look at it from a communications perspective, you would understand that yes, there's a mind shift, and you've kind of like given people a certain kind of impression. And the thing with impression is that sometimes it is not the kind of thing that lasts for a while. Because if Buhari were a product, you understand it's a very faulty product. And every day there's a problem that arises from it, and then you have your comms people would have to run up and down to look for another lie to tell. I know this is Nigeria. If Nigeria were, if not, we would call it 1 week, 1 trouble. And because we know that by this time next week, we'll probably have another thing to talk about. And before you know it, we'd all basically just forget what he did about June 12th and move on to the fact that, you know, APC, Buhari, they never change, they're still the same thing. So in the long run, it doesn't change much.
So he has bettered his chance, but there are chances that next week something will erode it.
I'm telling you that there's a possibility that by Sunday, in fact, I think the only way to kind of like forget the fact that he said this into allow Buhari on camera.
I think, unfortunately, my own opinion, unfortunately, this move he did is going to better his chance. Reason being, I mean, I've seen where people tend to vote for politicians because of things as little as bread. How about if this is a chain reaction, if this is going to be a chain reaction of moves that is meant to get the Southwest? History has shown us that for you to successfully win an election in Nigeria, you must get at least 2 regions. So because he's from the north, to a large extent, he has the north. The Southeast might never align towards him. The Southwest did before. Now, after 3 years, they don't really want him again. So he's like, okay, you know what? I need to get these people back. So I start with this. Don't be surprised. Coming weeks, we'll see more and more moves from his cabinet towards pleasing people from the Southwest. I feel it will end here.
There's something
So
like
are you saying that the family of the likes of the greats like Ken Saro-Wiwa should just look up again and just look again into this cup if there's something for them to drink out of?
It will be sad if the family of Ken Saro-Wiwa accepts anything from this government.
Why?
Because the Ogoni cleanup was an insult to the whole Ogoni people.
But it's still ongoing.
It's not existing.
How do you know it's not existing?
Because I've been there and there's nothing happening there.
Or just because there's nothing happening somewhere?
3 years after you launch something and you just put up placards and there's nothing happening. People are smarter.
But to actually hold brief for the government,
Yeah.
the Ogoni cleanup is not an exclusive forte of the Nigerian president. It's actually a joint venture between Nigerian president and the chief
Well, it
corporate.
sounds-
The people who are going to vote for you do not understand this level of English. One question.
But I'm also really worried about us ethnicizing the idea, this kind of things, because when we make it ethnicizing, when we break it down to this kind of level based on ethnic groups, we're kind of making it much more insidious, in the sense that people will be expecting, okay, so you did this for Yoruba people, what are you doing for the Igbos, what are you doing for the Hausas, what are you doing for the Jaws, what are you doing for the Galas? And so it becomes problematic in the long run, because we're further breaking down the country, and we're not looking at those kind of things as a unanimous kind of something that covers the entire country, as something that everybody should celebrate. So we'll put it that way, is like, well, only the Southwest should celebrate this, and well, only the Southside should celebrate Kensarawa. I mean, the fact that the Kensarawa issue is in fact an assault to every Nigerian, every right-thinking Nigerian.
I think in as much as people might have their different opinion as regards Dino, but I personally like to give him credit for the fact that for something like this that triggers people's emotion, he was focused enough to say that, I'm not saying this is wrong, but according to the constitution that I swore on, yeah, this cannot work. So for this to work, we need to amend the constitution.
So we should amend the constitution.
If we are going to do this,
should we withdraw the award instead of amending the constitution?
we should not withdraw the award. It would be rather insensitive to give than take.
Well, I don't think they should withdraw the award. One thing it does show is that the Buhari regime or the Buhari administration did no research. It shows the kind of do we want these people to come back again? How can you do something so momentous and you did not even research it? You did not even ask questions. I mean, don't they have constitutional lawyers? I mean, for God's sake, and what's his name? The vice president is a lawyer.
There is also the school of thought that says you can't unanimously declare you can declare a day as a holiday, but you cannot declare a day as a continuing public holiday. You understand what I mean?
So which means when Buhari leaves office, the next president can come and be like, oh, Buhari said this, but I'm going to repeal what he said, I'm putting what I said.
So the truth is, it's very obvious when you think about this topic very well, that this is just an idea that someone thought up and just maybe passed it to the team. And, oh, good idea, let's implement.
And it's indicative of a long-running, let's say, tradition or a culture, mentality within this administration. They do not think things over. They just be like, Momo will do this thing, we'll run and it will make sense.
It's long overdue the time to actually give credit to MKO Abiola for the struggle, because it goes beyond just losing your mandate, but fighting and losing your life. That's the highest price you can actually pay for what is so dear to you, what is so dear to the country. So we'll give Buhari credit for that. We also think that if this was done as a political move, it's actually very distasteful, and we hope that this is the last we'll hear or see of such in Nigeria. Thank you, guys.